All right, there we go. So the first thing I want you guys to do today, and we're just going to kind of give a better understanding of sine, cosine, and tangent today and see where we go from there. I want you to try to draw a triangle with a sine ratio of 0.4.
Okay, I picked completely on. I do not know what to do.
Okay. Okay, let me walk you through the first one.
Because I do not understand any of the sign stuff.
No, that's perfect. We can. So the sine is going to compare the opposite length to the hypotenuse. So just to think about this, if I, oh, that is terrible. What am I doing? Let's try it again. That's a little better. So if I'm going to compare the opposite of this angle to the hypotenuse, all we're doing is seeing how long this side is compared to this side. And if I divide those out, it'll give me a fraction. Well, it'll be a fraction, and then when I divide them out, it'll give me a decimal. So for ours, I want the sine to be 0.4. In other words, I want the opposite side to be 4 times smaller, not necessarily 4 times smaller, 4/10 of the opposite side. I'm sorry, the hypotenuse side. So if I'm going to draw this thing out, that's fine.
So like, I understand the first part you were talking about, but like the 0.4 thing, that's where you go.
Do you have one of those markers? Because this one's dry.
So 0.4, what is that as a fraction?
14.
Good. So all this is saying, when our sine is 0.4, the opposite side is 4, the hypotenuse is 10.
Oh, what?
So if I go from,
Doesn't that make you feel a little dumb?
but see, that's why I like doing it this way, is because we realize how easy it really is.
I was like,
So
I
from
feel like I should know.
so from this angle, the opposite is 4, the hypotenuse is 10.
That was easy.
I feel so dumb now.
So
Like, I feel like somebody just snapped me out.
Yeah.
With like gum written all over it.
if we had, let me do this from here. If I continued that out and that, we could have had this long side to be 20 and this side to be 8. The angle stayed the same. Our ratio was 8/10, which simplifies to 4/10, or 8/20, which simplifies to 4/10. So you could have drawn a different triangle and the ratio was still the same. And that's all because it's based off the same angle. Okay. Come on now. So this time I want you to draw a cosine ratio
Oh, what?
of 0.7. So the first thing I always do when I ever get these is I write out my ratios. So, ka, toa.
Huh? More?
Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent.
Okay, that wasn't brain a little bit.
Why?
Because I don't know.
That's fine.
Besides, the. It's,
Okay, what does the A mean in the middle one?
Adjacent. So let's say we're working off this angle. You guys all know what the hypotenuse is. And it's the O and the A that gets confusing sometimes. We're working off this angle. Through it is opposite. Beside it is adjacent. So since we're dealing with cosine, we want a ratio comparing the adjacent to the hypotenuse of 0.7. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. In this case, it's going to give us a decimal of 0.7. So what is my fraction for that? 7/10. So the adjacent side needs to be how long? 7. And the hypotenuse needs to be?
Oh, I did that.
Good.
That's okay.
okay, so for the cosine, it's adjacent. Well, the A over H.
Yep.
So technically, if you look at it like this, it's H over A. But you have to flip it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Tough one now.
Oh, I know. I just erased it. And sine is over H, right? Opposite over hypotenuse. No, I can't do it. Why is it so tangent? What is that?
Opposite over adjacent.
O over A?
O over A.
Doesn't matter what type of triangle I draw.
Has to be a right triangle.
You said O over A, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think over 100 or over 10.
If it depends on which way you do it. It's 45 over 100 or it's 4.5 over 10.
I didn't know.
Let's see.
All this time, I never noticed that you were using that little pen thing you went on.
It's kind of cool, isn't it?
I thought you were just using your computer mouse. And I was sitting here thinking this whole time, how does he draw his lines and write so good? But then I looked at the writing on it.
Yeah, I could use the mouse. I'm just not very good at it. See. So opposite over Jason. And you could have gone off this top angle if you wanted.
I was just long.
All right, the opposite.
My head is killing me.
You could have gone 45 over 100 and then simplified from there. You could have gone 4.5 over 10. You could have, the actual simplified version would be 9 over 20. So all I want us to understand is we're comparing sides. And if you were to draw this to scale, the tangent of 45, 9 over 20 or 45, however you wrote it down, the tangent of 45, this is pretty much half of that. Okay?
Got time to show it.
So
This never showed up.
that's all I've got for you as far as the recording. If you have any questions over the video, feel free to send me a message.